Welcome back, freshwater fishing novices, new viewers. This is the Freshwater Fishing Novice YouTube channel. My name is Moles. I'm the Freshwater Fishing Novice, and it's Freshwater Fishing Novice Friday. Today what we're going to talk about is something that was pretty frustrating to me when I started, and I know a lot of viewers have this issue too. What happens when your worms get all beat up? Oh, I can't use that, I'm going to throw it away. Well, I mean, how much plastic do we need to throw away? Let's talk about how you can get more life out of worms after you beat the living heck out of them. I'll show you something preventative you can do to keep this worm on the hook longer, and I'm going to show you what you can do with these worms aside of melting them down and making new soft plastics, which is also an option. What you can do to still use this worm when you're on the boat. It's going to require another tool. But let's start with preventative maintenance. So I don't know if you've heard this, but I have heard this. The whole time I've been fishing, I just waited until this year to try it. I mean, a week ago, and it worked really well. A lot better than I thought it would. Let's say you have your extra wide gap hook tied on the line, even though I don't right here. Let me just show you how to do it. The thing you're going to use aside of your hook, your line, and your worm, I went to the dollar store or something and just got some crazy glue, or wherever the heck I just saw it, and I grabbed it. Just so it's got an applicator, you know what I mean? You pull this off, bloop. I try not to get it on my fingers because it ripped a whole bunch of skin off. So it's very tacky. And what does it say it adheres to? No, just warnings. Keep it out of your eyes, obviously. All-purpose crazy glue is all this is. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put a little dab right up here, but not until you've done a couple other things. Your line's on already. You take your soft plastic worm, you go right in, we'll call that the head. So you go in the head right there, right? You got the hook keeper over here, come out the back side of it. So now I thread it up almost to where I'm ready to set it. You know what I mean? Like over the eyelet. I guess we'll call that an eyelet. That's an eyelet. So I get it right there. And then what I do, that's when I pull out the super glue. You're going to just a little bit right there. And now what I do is rotate it up and get it where I want it. So now, you know, you line up your hook like that. You can just skin hook it. I'm going to set that down and let that dry, even though it doesn't take very long. Close up my crazy glue, and we'll come back and look at that to see how strong it's attached to that hook now. And while we give it a second, we're going to talk about how to use beat up worms. You can see that one's totally ripped, almost ripped all the way through, but I'm still going to use that. And you can't go through the same spot where you've gone through before. So you can, but it's still a little mucked up. It doesn't look right. Let's see. So like you're trying to put the hook right through a tear. If you use a smaller hook, you can go above that tear. It still works. It gives it a little different action. Now, say it's ripped right here and your hook is actually going to enter where that rip part is. What you can do is you can rotate your worm. So say it's ripped on that side, you rotate it to the back or the front. So now, let's see if I can do this and show you guys. Go in the top, out the side, so you can see where the rip is. I'm gonna go through this way. I line it up, and it's really close to that tear. This is why I like the extra wide gap hooks. But you can see I'm still able to use that hook. So what I do when it rips out on one side, what I do is I just rotate. Now I'll put the hook through and go through this way. Or if it rips too much, I'll just rotate my worm like a quarter turn and I'll go in that way. Now let's talk about another technique, wacky rigging it. But I'll show you, there's a special tool you can get if you don't want to try to put the band on the worm and slide it down. You wacky rig, you can just put a hook right through the center of the worm, but that tears the worm out a lot. If you want to keep that worm usable, I've used one of these worms. I caught 10 fish before I even had to deal with getting another worm. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find the center of the worm where it drops equally. You're gonna feed this tube up. Let me just show you that tube. So it's got the rubber grommets or O-rings or whatever. You slide it up to the base of the, call that the baseball bat. It's hollow, so you can slide this in. So you slide it up to where that center is. You find your center with your fingers and keep it pinched. So now you go up here and you just pop that rubber band on there. And if it's off a little bit, you just move it a little bit. Let me show you the hooks that you're going to want to use. You can use bait holder hooks. Other hook you're going to want to use. This is size 6 Gamakatsu octopus circle hook. So you can see how small those are. Now what you do is you just go underneath the band, just like that. Check to make sure that the worm is hanging equal. And if this is tied to your line, all you do is you toss it out and this thing will just wiggle through the water column. Now you're wondering probably, what would that look like on that worm that's all like cut in half almost? Well, we're gonna rig that up right now. So the way this works is your bands are all right there. You put them on this way and then you pop them on and they're all on here. What you do is you just push with your hand, slide it around thicker part, and then you slide it up and there's a flanged end right here that will stop it temporarily right where you want it, like that. Here's that beat up worm. So now how do I find the center there? Still, you're gonna find that part right there where this is and this is equal. You're holding your fingers right there. Put that tube up there again. Pop it on. I'm gonna go a little bit towards that crack. Now I'm gonna feed my circle hook on there, just underneath that band, not through the worm. How does that look? Well, it's hanging equal. It just looks weird. But that's gonna have way more action. The fish are gonna hit that too. So don't throw your worms out. You just put a wacky rig on it or save them for a wacky rig when you're gonna do that. That's the different ways I try to get more use out of my worms, just hooking them different ways. Now let's look and see if this made any difference. Just to show you how easy the worm comes off. No super glue on the worm hook, or crazy glue on the wide gap hook. So no glue, glue. So pull this one off, right? Real easy. Now with the crazy glue one, ready? So let's undo it there. And I could feel it's stiff up in here because of the glue. And you could see how much stuck to that eyelet. And that's what you're looking for. You want that plastic worm to stay on there. So that glue will help the worm's head stay right in that position. And I promise it works better than no glue. All right, freshwater fishing novices, viewers, I hope all you anglers, new fishermen, novices, found this video helpful. Not so much entertaining, but more educational. Just on something, a couple things you can do to get more life out of your worms once they get pretty beat up, or how to hook them differently after they get torn out. You can still use them. If you rip this out also, like that guy, just cut a little bit just below that tear and hook it and just skin hook it. You know, just if you're dealing with a smaller worm, you'll probably honestly get more bites because the worm will be smaller and smaller fish will be able to hit it. Thank you for watching my video this week. I hope everyone found it entertaining. If you did, you can go and hit that like button. Let me know that you liked the video and it was informative. Informative is what I want to say. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're learning about fishing or just starting out as a new angler, you want to see more videos just explaining basic things, learning to become a better angler, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click the bell, make it turn from red to gray. You'll be notified of new videos every week that come out with the Freshwater Fishing Novice. If you guys have any questions as new anglers and you don't want to ask anyone, that's what this channel's for. Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Ask me that question that you don't want to ask anyone. If you don't want me to say your name, go ahead and leave that in the comment. I won't even mention you. I'll just make a video for you specifically. Thanks for watching the Freshwater Fishing Novice YouTube channel. It's been Freshwater Fishing Novice Friday. My name is Moles and I'm the Freshwater Fishing Novice. Thanks for watching this week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you next week.